Um, and welcome to Tribe Global. This is David. I'm your host today, as I just made that up. I don't know. I don't know who is the host. You might be the host today. Carrie, can you please introduce yourself and who you are and what your business does?
Sure. I'm Carrie Kerpen. I founded Likeable, which is a social media agency that was built, scaled, and sold to 10 Pearls, which is a technology services company, where I am now the managing director, leading all global digital services.
Exciting times.
It
So,
is.
3 years,
Yep.
3 years of this, the buyout.
Yes.
Tell me, what were the challenges? What are the key challenges? What are the opportunities? What did you encounter over the 3 years?
So I think it was a really exciting experience to sell, right? Like this is like it's all the lead up to the sale. And then you have these 3 contracted years that you're working for a business that you sold. And so I think one of the things that's hard is the loss of ownership, right? Like something that was once yours where you called the shots always, you may now no longer be able to call the shots in the same way. One of the benefits, I think, was both the infrastructure that you get from a sale and the ability to do more. So, like, we were a social media only agency, and now all of a sudden we had opportunity to do a lot more. And so that was exciting. And you learn a lot of new stuff in that process. I learned a lot actually not working for myself. That was a major, major benefit of the 3 years. I think the drawback, the harder thing is that you're working for somebody. I hadn't worked for somebody since I was in my 20s, and I am in my mid to late 40s, I will say. So it's been a while.
Actually, I was just about to ask
Yeah.
that question. How does it feel to report into someone that you have to, I guess, you know, report numbers,
Yes.
look at the business, look at the strategic positioning of the business, where it's going to be heading towards, because it constantly evolves. Even though you have a buyout in place,
Right.
the business still moves. Culture moves, right?
Exactly. And things change and all kinds of stuff. I think that's why it's really important to select the right acquirer. For me, and I think generally, when someone acquires a business, they're not looking at you as a direct report like, okay, you're a cog in a wheel. Like you have a certain amount of respect that you've built a business and grown it. So for me, it never really felt like reporting. It felt like collaboration, and it felt like there was somebody there who was trying to help me grow. That being said, when I had bad quarters, and I certainly did, and I had to go to them and report that, I had not experienced that before because usually the only person I'm accountable to is myself. And so when I had to do that, it's really hard. But in some ways, it kept me accountable in a different way that I never was to myself. I think in a way, I worked harder to please them and ensure that this was a fantastic acquisition than I worked for myself when I was running it because I gave myself a little bit more grace.
So with that, right? So everything's in place. You're moving forward.
Yeah.
Culture within
Yes.
the team,
Yes.
culture with your clients.
Yes.
How did that change?
Okay, so for me, when I chose this acquirer, I wanted to focus on somebody who would allow my culture, which was such an important part of who we were. I mean, our name was likable, it was in our DNA. I wanted somebody who allowed that to exist and would support the existence of that. And so my clients and my staff all stayed because they felt like we were committed to that. And initially they all stayed. And I guess they continued staying because they realized that it was real. Like there was apprehension from everybody at first. And I think eventually they realized that the founder was committed to keeping that culture. And I think that was great.
Did the team see it as a sale or as an investor coming in to help grow the business?
No, it was a sale
It was a
sale.
sale.
And I didn't position it as an investor coming in to grow the business because when you sell your business, you have to maintain a top line and a bottom line, usually. So if I came in and said, oh, they're investing in the business and I still have to hit a bottom line target, I would feel disingenuous. And so for me, I didn't do that.
So now you've got a couple more months left in the business. Exciting times.
Yes.
Does that mean that you're going to walk away from the business? Does that mean something new is going to happen?
Yep.
I for me as a business owner, I've had my business for
Yes.
16 years. You wake up that day, once the deal is done, what's next?
Yeah. So there's a few things on this. I think, first of all, the weight of an earnout is heavy. It is heavy. Is that okay? The weight of an earnout is heavy and you feel it. So I am very much looking forward to the moment when that hits and is done. Like the final piece of my contract is done. That being said, I think when I sold the business, I thought to myself, oh, I'm going to be out of there on day 1 of 3 years. And now that I'm here, like I do see the potential for a future. I just don't know. And I feel like it's very hard for me to evaluate until I know I've extracted 100% of the value. Once I extract the 100% of the value, I'm going to take a vacation. I'm going to by myself. Yeah. I'm going to go sit. I'm going to think about it away from my kids, my husband, everybody, and then I will address. So the possibilities are staying with the company and growing it, which is exciting because they have a lot of exciting things going on. It's starting something new, or it's taking a break. You know, that's another option. It's very hard as a business owner, somebody who's an entrepreneur or very motivated to take a break. But I think sometimes it's warranted.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's the key word right now is taking a break.
Yes.
Because as business owners, as entrepreneurs,
yes,
you're always on.
You're always on. You're always on.
There's a responsibility.
Yep.
You know, and now it's peace.
So, right. So whether it's a vacation or a longer term break, I think one thing is sure, I will be taking some form of break.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure. And how can we find you?
So you can find me on LinkedIn. Just look me up, Carrie Kerpen, and you'll see whatever happens. You can follow my journeys there. I post pretty frequently there. Carrie, Kerpen.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.